The 2018 Cannes Film Festival kicked off today in Cannes, France. The jury was in for the Conference de Presse includes Cate Blanchett, Ava Duvernay, and Kristen Stewart, as well as other festival notables from a total of 5 women and 4 men. They answer such questions from the press as, what is a good Palme d'Or?
The Palme d'Or, by its very definition, is an award that's given to a film that contains everything. So you're awarding the performances, the direction, the cinematography, the script, the extraordinary crew that have made the film possible, the whole entire mise en scène. So it's something that I think will also hopefully last within not only the jury's mind and imagination, but the imagination of an audience beyond the time of the festival.
I think for a Palme d'Or, you should be fundamentally, sort of undeniably moved. And yes, the topical nature of films and festivals, it's important, but it's kind of, I think, more important to know that in 10 years' time, forever, however long, that it'll stand. And, I think it's pretty obvious when you watch a movie like that.
Well, for me, it's a film that is of its time, but also timeless, something that we can watch it in 20 years and feel like it still stands on its own. I think the films that I love the most are the films that have an emotional muscularity to it, so much so that whether or not I'm of that place or of that world, no matter where the characters exist, that I can connect to it in an emotional way, because some emotions, many of our emotions, are universal. And so within that idea of universality, there's a specificity that I love. I believe there are riches in the niches. There's something gorgeous about going to a very particular place and time and being able to illuminate all that we are in terms of our humanity. So hopefully we'll find something like that. Looking forward to seeing what's there.
But the fascinating and wonderful thing about Cannes is that you have a set of people, practitioners, artists, in the jury, then you have the critics' response, and then you have the punters, you have the audience. And each of those groups of people might find something different. So even though the Palme d'Or might go to something and the critics might think differently, that's wonderful. And the great thing about this platform that is Cannes, this cultural, international sort of melting pot, is that every single film is worthwhile seeing. I mean, Terry and the team see over 1,600 different films. I mean, I can't even imagine absorbing that many films within a 12-month period, but they do. And often I think what happens is that the filmmakers who are chosen are guilty as charged. So, it's wonderful as an artist to go in an open-hearted way to try and attend to what the filmmakers are saying. And often from afar, if I haven't been at the festival that year, I'm not just interested in the film that has won a prize, but it might often be the one that I've heard about through word of mouth. So there's many, many ways in which these films can... it's a very porous festival. And so I think that, of course, there's the pointy end with the awards. But, as an artist myself, I'm not that actually focused on awards. I'm much more process-driven. It's being in dialogue, not only with these extraordinary artists who are in the jury, but also being in dialogue with the diverse array of artists who are represented in competition and outside.
I feel that cinema is voice, and it's the way that I, from where I'm from, Compton, California, was able to understand, the humanity of a family in Iran or in Shanghai. There was nothing outside of my window to orient me to my place in the world. It was film that did that. It was film that allows me to assert my voice in the world. So it's so important that these festivals, and that's why I feel Cannes is so important, it brings us together from all parts of the world, wherever we are, to a gathering place to assert our voice and to actually speak to each other through cinema. So it's so important that we are inclusive, I feel, of the different ways in which we participate in film. So whether that's in a theater or not, it's still film. And I think that this is a question that the industry, artists and executives alike are grappling with right now, is what is a film? But film is a story told by a filmmaker, and the way in which that film is presented to the audience, I don't think has bearing on whether or not it is a film. But I look forward to having those debates with my fellow jury members. probably like the one sitting next to me, and others. I think it's just such a time of great flexibility in terms of the ways in which film is presented, and so it really is deserving of flexibility of our thought and our assessment of what is film.
I mean, you hold up a mirror in front of everyone. It's so important to consistently self-assess and also explore and also be shown things that you're not currently living with, things that are not even remotely in your realm. So it's like two sides of a really beautiful coin. It's like always have introspection and self-reflection, and additionally open your eyes to things that are nothing like yourself, and like that's the only way to grow. And I think movies have always been, I mean, one of, it's obviously like my favorite form of that. Yeah.